Time's up, let's do this. Let's build Junglearium 2.0. More than 3 years ago, I started my biggest project ever, the Junglearium project, which is now my biggest achievement, but at the same time my biggest failure. It is beautiful, full of plants and life, and it is definitely a success when it comes to sustaining life, but the problem lies underneath. The hydro-insulation is failing, most likely due to plant roots managing to bore into it, so it is slowly leaking in 2 spots. Part of ceiling collapsed a few months ago due to moisture penetrating into the drywall. Unfortunately, fixing it would be impossible without getting everything out, so the only way to preserve all the plants and animals is to build a new Junglearium and move everything inside. Yeah, finally the time arrived. Only 4 months delay. Not much, but boards are here. The plywood boards, or should I say board, because I only have one here. That is the only board that I don't need to cut. Others I need to cut, so they are still outside, and I will cut them outside because cutting with circular saw produces a lot of dust, so it is better to do it outside than inside because I need to do a lot of cuts, a lot of cutting to do. But yeah, plywood, and these plywood boards are already waterproofed, but the thing is, you know that I was thinking about doing a plywood enclosure and then cover it with epoxy inside to make it waterproof, but I changed my mind on that. It is not that it cannot be done, but that technique brings a lot of complications. It is something that I never personally did it, so I can potentially mess something up, which is something that I want to avoid, I want to eliminate. I want this to be foolproof and to work. I don't want to think about if roots will get through epoxy, if I will damage the epoxy layer, or I will mess up the coating. So therefore I will make an outer shell out of plywood, this waterproof plywood, and on the inside I will have glass. In theory that should be the safest solution. The only downside is I want a new Junglearium to go from here all the way to this wall that is a bit over 3 meters, but since I'm doing it with plywood, I'm limited to width of plywood board, which is 2.5 meters. So therefore new Junglearium will be a bit shorter, but still 5 centimeters longer than current Junglearium. And it will also be taller, but not as wide. So roughly similar dimensions. I would prefer it to have it bigger, but this will also work out. So before I cut the boards outside, I want to make room here, which means that we need to clean this corner. We need to remove all the cans, the shelf from the wall, and all of this camera stuff. But that is of course not a problem. Of course, I never intended this to be a permanent location for that stuff. Let me just show you how I arranged my camera gear box. It is custom built by me. Look at this beauty. Microphone, a lapel microphone, batteries, ring light for camera, batteries for the ring light, macro lens, high zoom lens, GoPro Insta360 action camera. Here goes my regular lens, here goes my camera with wide lens, and this whole insert can be lifted to reveal additional compartments. Another light, Gorilla tripod, some other tripod, vacuum mount for action cameras, all different GoPro and Insta360 accessories, and also I have empty spot here to add more stuff. I am so happy how it turned out, and believe it or not, but this foam, it is from Temu. Now let me see if I can take all of this at once. Kinda. There we go, all the gear is gone. Now cans. A lot of cans. I will probably put them on the other wall or maybe in my garage. We will see. Look at this. Nice. Now I need to remove the shelves. Now look at this nasty thing. This was behind the cans. Definitely a good idea to remove those cans and to wash it down. Ugh. This is the problem that you get when you have really warm environment, really humid environment in a combination with a cold wall and also something that blocks the airflow around it. Yeah, really nasty. Okay, with this done we can go outside and cut the boards. And here we are. Here's the garage, and you actually haven't seen it in a while, So let me give you a quick tour of it. There has been some development inside. I've been busy. You see, this is my workstation where I build the enclosures. You have all the glass under the table. You have seen these tables in past videos, but not this. I custom built this to hold all of the plastic parts you see for the enclosures. Here are acrylic enclosures, already packed, ready to be shipped. Envelopes and other stuff that I need. On top, if you look up, you will see all the packing materials, boxes and everything needed for the web shop. I built this recently, so it is still not filled. You see, everything is empty. Only these bottom ones contain screws and other things that you need, like nails, these things, but all of this is empty. Just like I built these shelves, I will continue building them in this corner. You see, here is my 3D printer. Bunch of tools. Also underneath I have bunch of tools. Over there I have some glass enclosures and this BMW E46 that will hopefully be a track car sometimes in the future. You see, I took all the interior out, but not all, some are still left. Also everything in the back is gone. As you can see, I got the coilovers, drift spec coilovers. Yeah, this is also something that I've been working on when I have time. And just like in Dark Den, everything that you see here, I built it myself. It is just something that I do. I love building stuff by myself. And the thing is, I recorded all of that, all the builds, how I built everything. I also recorded all the stuff that I did on E46. And hopefully in the future, when I have enough time, I will make another English channel about it. The thing is, everything is recorded on Croatian language, so I would need to voice over everything, and it is a lot of work. But before that, I need to finish the entire Junglearium 2.0. We need to cut this board here and also here, so a time lapse maybe. And it is next day. It took a while to cut all of those boards, but now I'm done with that. I already brought them all inside. Here is the bigger one, and behind are all the smaller ones that I cut. So now we need to assemble all of that. I have the drill and I cannot remember the name, the trrrf that you use for screwing screws. And these are the screws that I will use to assemble all of that. You see, they have the, they're called self-tapping or something like that, I think. But still, I will pre-drill the holes that go on the side. I mean, you will see. This first board is backboard, so we need to make holes on this side, like this, and then like this we attach the bottom panel and then flip everything. You will figure it out, don't worry. Also, you see here, I set up the GoPro camera to record a permanent time lapse. So every time I will be doing anything with the Junglearium, I will be recording with a GoPro, unless I forget to turn it on. But that way I will get a super cool time lapse of me building the Junglearium, where everything will be from the same angle. Anyway, I'll bring this board down and drill some holes. First I need to put some markings. Now I'll make contrast sink holes. Now I will pre-drill 3 holes on both sides and on the middle. I think that it's not necessary because these are the self-tapping screws, but aligning it at start should be easier. So this hole I will put some sacrificial wood underneath, and now I'll try to keep it straight. And I'll do the same on the middle and on the other side. Whenever you are connecting some boards, first 2 boards are always the hardest the trickiest to set up properly. This one should be the bottom one if I'm not mistaken. So that will actually go here. While I need to lift this back side. Man, I overcomplicated this move. There. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how I will record this because this is the side from which I need to connect the bottom board. So it is in the back, yeah. I don't know, I will figure something out. I still need to figure out how to align all of this. I thought of using these offcuts that I have from some other project. This is a square, 90 degrees angle, and it is big enough so I can somehow fix this and this together. I actually have an idea. Since I will have glass within plywood shell, I don't actually mind if I have some holes on this board. So that way I can align this board to it and then just temporarily screw it inside of this board, which will give me a perfect 90 degrees angle, and then after I connect everything and also this side, I can just unscrew it and remove it. That's the way to do this. It would be easier if I had like a second pair of hands, but you know that I like to do stuff by myself. It provides you with additional challenge. First step complete. You see here are the screws. So I can now simply just put this right here, make it all nice and flush, and just drill it in. This actually works. I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm surprised. I'll do the same thing on this side. There we go. This should be now a perfect 90 degrees angle. Now this is another challenge that I need to face. Since I need to put screw here, I cannot screw it in directly because of the angle. But for that I have this contraption that should give me the appropriate angle, but we will see if it will work as I hope. Okay, not bad. Nice! Perfectly flush, great! You see how awesome it is to have proper tools. Nice, this is just beautiful, look. Everything is all nice and flush. Everything is connected. Which means that we can proceed to next step, and that is this side. Same thing, straightforward. It is super easy to slide it for now. I intentionally put the shiny part of the board on the bottom side. You see, this is shiny part, while the other side is rough. We will need to shuffle it back and forth a couple of times. This should be the side panel, the back side. So now same thing. I need to mark the holes, make countersink holes, and then I can connect everything. Okay, now the tricky part. We need to lift it up and then drill it on the side. Perfect. Now the new enclosure is starting to take shape, huh? I need to move all the boards that I have on the back before I push it at its designated spot. This is the front panel. Oh, I still have this, the other side. Dude, with all the glass inside, this won't be as easy to push as I initially thought. I thought since the bottom part is really slippery, I thought that it will be easy to move it around, but that is a lot of weight to move around. Now to mark it and then countersink it. As I lifted this, I noticed a problem. It is not entirely my mistake, but if I measured everything, I could have prevented this. Let me show you, let me explain. You see, I also placed the second side. I aligned it over there so it is flushed with the back. And if you check out on front, there is this space that I intentionally left for the front board that goes here, drills into this board, and also drills through this board into it. Same thing on the other side. But what is the problem? If you look at the thickness of the board, you can notice that this space here is greater than the thickness of a single board. But that is intentional because for front panel and also top front panel, I will stack two boards because of the door system. I need it to be thicker so there is enough room to place the guider where the door slides. You know, let me show you on the Junglearium. You see this aluminium thing. Come on, no, we are not feeding time. I will feed you guys and girls later. So this needs to go on the bottom part and also on the top part, and that is too wide for this board, but by stacking two boards side by side and also glass that goes here, thickness will be almost exact dimensions. Now here's the problem. These are for top panel, but it doesn't matter. And if I place one, you see there is still room, but not enough for 2 boards. And the reason for that is boards are actually thicker by a centimeter than they are advertised. I bought them as 12mm thick boards, but they are 13.5mm thickness, which is a good thing. Thicker board is stronger board, but I didn't calculate it in these dimensions, so now the bottom panel is too wide and we will need to take it out and cut it by like 4mm or such, so not more than this. Oh, I can actually stack 2 boards and show you exactly how much we need to cut. It is a bit dark here, but this is the thickness. So I will measure it, I will take out the bottom panel and cut it. Not a huge problem, but annoying, definitely annoying. And I'm back, everything is fixed. I cut the board and I even in the meantime attached this board to this side and on the bottom panel, but not the entire way because we need to fit the bottom front panel. After that we need to do a front top panel and also rest of the back panel. So let's combine 2 boards into one. This right here is first panel, front side, and this is back side, to which we will attach these 2 panels. I need to set them perfectly flush to each other. That is really important. And if you're wondering why this back panel is made out of 2 boards, this was the only way to build this enclosure out of 5 boards. If I didn't do that, I would need to buy another board and they are really expensive. So even though it looks a bit janky, it is the inner side, so it won't be visible, and it saved me a bunch of money, so it was a no-brainer. Now I just need to flip it to the other side like this. And it should fit right in. More or less. I messed it up for like 1.5 millimeters. The other side is, even though you cannot see it because of the darkness, the other side is better. But we are getting there. Let's attach it. There we go, only 2 panels remain, the back one and the top one. I will handle the back one first, that is this one, and then we again need to connect the top one. Same thing, we need to connect 2 boards together. That's it, last board and we are done for today. These 2. Same thing like this one, only smaller. Now on this side I know exactly where our front panel needs to go. It needs to go aligned with this edge, but on this side I don't know, so that means that we need to measure it and put something like this clamp in order to hold me the panel while I'm fixing it on this side. 133 centimeters, and for example the opening on the Junglearium is 99 centimeters, so this is more than 30 centimeters bigger opening. You see, this is how I fixed it, so it shouldn't move at all, and now we can proceed with fixing it to this side. Okay, just like that. Now I need to be super precise. Okay, not bad. There we go. To be honest, it could have been better. You see, there is a slight edge here, but whatever now. It will still function the same, it only won't be as pretty. Okay, it is done. For the last part I had to call my wife to help me out, because I just couldn't hold it in place while simultaneously drilling it in. But this is it. This is the exoskeleton of the enclosure, and if you check it out, it is a bit flimsy. Glass will make it rigid, but also if necessary, when I push it to the wall, I can drill it into the wall, so it will be safe and sound, and also I can mount it to the ceiling, whatever is necessary. But we didn't even discuss the dimensions. This is 1 meter, this is 2.5 meters, and height it will be all the way up to here, but I will cover this, and over here I will have the access for all the cables and stuff. But height is 190 centimeters, so roughly it will be as big as Junglearium, but I will try to set it up a bit different, and I think that the feel of the enclosure will be bigger. And if I go inside, you see how much space there is inside. I can basically walk from one side to the other, can even jump. I'm so happy that we finally started with this, and awesome thing that this enclosure will have glass here and also glass here. So this corner will be glass. It complicated the design of the enclosure, but I think that the appearance of the enclosure will be much better. And also I think that the lake will go in the middle of the enclosure, and it will be roughly like this big, but it won't be as deep. Anyhow, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you are hyped for this project. If you are, if you did, thumbs the video up and comment something. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I upload every Monday and sometimes a live stream on Sunday. So see you again really soon. Bye.